Welcome, everybody, and thank you for being here. And I mean, can we get a more beautiful day than this? And it's so appropriate to celebrate an equally and maybe even a more beautiful thing, and that is the community Major Jenkins that's really being rededicated today. Everything that we do in the world of affordable housing is a big effort, and it takes a lot of people, takes a lot of passion, takes a lot of commitment. And so everyone here today has been part of doing what is necessary ultimately to get this outcome. And so thank you for being here. I'm grateful for your commitment to not just Mercy Housing Lakefront, but ultimately for who we are all here for, and that is the residents in our community. And you know, as I said, this is a beautiful outcome. It will endure in time. And we've really been able now to create a situation here where we have a fully modern home that's highly affordable, that's serviced enriched, and amenitied, so that everyone can live in dignity, live in comfort. Let me point out a few of the things that are new to the new Major Jenkins. Hallelujah, the building is now fully air conditioned. We all know, because we all have iPhones in our pockets right at this moment, that you just can't live your life, really, and certainly you cannot access very important critical services without access to the internet. So I'm very proud to say that the Major Jenkins now is fully Wi-Fi to the rooms, the entire building. I think the final piece is we worked with Architreasures that brought in a whole series of local artists, and each one, if you will, had their own kind of design palette, color palette approach to artwork in the building. And really, they presented their visions and worked with residents, and ultimately the residents decided what was going to be the look and feel of the artwork that you'll see is running throughout the building. And again, that's part of an effort, a very conscious effort to make sure that we create a home here and we're not giving people a sense of being in an institution. It is their home.
But it's sort of interesting, you think you've been in office a while, then you realize you've been around like a way long time. This is my second ribbon cutting for the same building. I don't know how many of you were around in 1995. How many of you were around in 1995, but the difference between 1995 and now just shows how much, you know, somebody who's lived in the neighborhood for like years and years and years, like how important this building and its residents over the years have been to transforming our community and making this a better, safer neighborhood, and also preserving, you know, affordability for the community as well. In 1995, it was Lakefront Housing. Gene Butson was the director at the time when we cut the ribbon on the Major Jenkins and the first residents moved in. This was a very troubled block at the time. A lot of issues and a lot of public safety problems. And the folks who were in management of the building and the residents of the Major Jenkins and the residents of the Harold Washington down the street really took command of getting involved in the community and transforming this block and this area in so many ways. So as somebody who's lived in the neighborhood for so long, I just am so grateful to the folks who live in this building, who work with us hand in hand with the block clubs and the merchants and the Chamber of Commerce, Uptown United, to make this a better neighborhood for all of us. And so I just want to thank, you know, all the folks from IDA, you know, who put the money behind this, and, you know, the private equity folks who did this, because you really are, you know, supporting a model that helps people restart lives in some cases, build lives in other cases, and more importantly, build community and help our whole neighborhood advance. You know, the idea of supportive housing and wraparound services for folks when they need those services, it's so vital if we expect, you know, to have our communities get enriched and develop and grow over time in a way that preserves our diversity and our affordability. So I just, on behalf of, you know, the 13th District community and the Uptown community, just want to say thank you a lot to everyone who had a role in this.
Good afternoon, Uptown. I'm State Senator Mike Simmons for the 7th District, which includes Uptown, where we are today. And what a wonderful day. You know, I've been in office for a year and a half, and I often tell my constituents in this district, which runs all the way up to Rogers Park, Lincoln Square, and the West Ridge, we're the most diverse district in the state of Illinois. One of the most diverse communities in the United States, in fact, the world. And one of the reasons this is such a diverse community, why you can walk down Winthrop to Foster, to Bryn Mawr, all the way up to Devon, and see people from 90 to 100 different parts of the world is because we have affordable housing. It's why you can walk down Argyle and you can see people from East Asia. You can see African Americans whose ancestors came up from Mississippi and Georgia like my mom's family. You can see Ethiopian Americans who came to this country, came to this community like my dad did, who call this home and who will call this place home for a long time because of the work that has been done to have this ribbon cutting today. So I want you all to give a round of applause to the community, to Mercy Housing, and to all the people that made today possible.
Good afternoon to those of you sitting in the sun, and good afternoon to you out there in the shade. I'm so glad to see so many people turn out for this really, really important event. And so on behalf of Governor Pritzker, the Board of Directors of the Illinois Housing Development Authority, and our staff, we want to say congratulations to all of you, to the community, and especially to Mercy Housing and all the Mercy Housing staff and Miss Peggy Carter and the residents of Major Jenkins. Our mission at IDA is the creation and preservation of affordable housing. And as hard as it is to create affordable housing, it's also hard to preserve it. And you've already heard from some very eloquent speakers today about how important this building has been. This building's been around for buildings have been around more than 90 years, but they've been affordable for decades and decades and decades. And yes, I too, Rep. Harris, have walked through that building about 30 years ago too. So, and it's great to see it here, stronger than ever, better than ever. And that wouldn't have happened without everybody coming together to really make this happen.
It was a wonderful day. The ability to just bring in kind of the whole universe of people that support us, that are the core of our mission: residents, architects, bankers, government officials, longtime supporters of Mercy. It's wonderful to see everybody come together, celebrate as a community about a beautiful community here that we've been able to create now. And I think the epitome of what it is that we can do in creating very affordable housing. It's fully modern, that's there for as long as the resident needs that, and enables them to live in dignity and pursue the life that they're looking to lead.